Hello everyone, my name is SwingPoynt and welcome to Resident Evil Resistance. This is the multiplayer game bundled with Resident Evil 3. And today I'm so excited to finally show you an Infection Alex build. I think we've done like over 40 videos of Resistance on this channel, and I don't think I've ever done a video for Alex that is around Infection. If we have, I don't remember it. Today we finally get to talk about Alex from an Infection perspective. Because she's finally ready. It's time. She can do it now. And I'm going to talk to you about why. And this video is going to be less about the equipment and less about the deck, but more about how to play her. Because once you see this done out, you'll understand that just about every single one of these masterminds can kind of do what we're doing here. But what's going to be beautiful about it is Alex can finally do it best. Usually Annette could just do whatever Alex did, except do it way better. Alex can finally do it best. And that's what I love about this. So let's get into it here. We're going to go over her skills, her equipment, her deck, and then I'm going to show you what it looks like in a match. And you'll understand why she does it so well. And I'm so excited about that. So let's get into the skills here. I want to talk about why we do what we do. That's kind of where I've been with these builds lately. It's not about, oh guys, did you see you could do this? And like, look at the math behind all the builds. I like to explain why we do what we do. So for the skills, we're going to run Jester Camouflaged because we're going to be running 2 mods already. So let's not run Efficiency mod. Even though they just buffed Efficiency mod, Infection, we're not using it. We're going to run Virus Mine because it's more efficient. 3 mines gets you in trouble. We're going to run Trap Efficiency for economy. We're going to run Amplify for a higher infection rate because it is such a good passive from her. And we're going to run a Verdant on Yataveo to make them a little more chonky. Onto the equipment. There's a lot you can do here. I do think there's room for improvement, and I'm excited to see what you guys come up with. The most important part out of this equipment for me is the viral canisters. It's to buff up that poison. The weirdest part about this Alex is that it took the infection being nerfed for this Alex build to finally feel like it makes sense to me. Viral Canister 3 and Viral Canister 1 are going to be our infection buffs. And then we're going to run Resilient Skin 3 and Miniature Reactor. I don't think there was ever a Miniature Reactor stealth nerf. Some of you guys know what that rumor is. I think it's a bunch of baloney. I don't think there's any evidence behind it. Equipment that you could do instead, in my opinion, that I want to test out, you could just flip out Miniature Reactor for more poison. You could get rid of Resilient Skin 3, put in Resilient Skin 2, and then put Fortifying Virus 3 in here since you're going to control creatures often. You have a lot of options here, okay? Work with what you want. The biggest thing is to make sure you get a little bit more infection in there to make her amplify even more scary, okay? Onto the deck. We have 3 traps, 4 creatures, 2 mods, and an enhancer. There's a reason why we chose exactly what we chose. Every card matters, and that's what I love about this deck. I love when we make a deck and it feels like every part of it counts. There's not just, I'll throw it in there because what else am I going to put there? Okay? So for the traps, we run Tracker Mine, Leg Hold Trap, and Lockdown. For the creatures, we run Zombie Infectious, Tough Zombie Infectious, Tough Zombie, and Crawler Zombie. For the mods, we run Creatures and Traps. And for the enhancer, we run Energy Leech. Okay? For the creatures, they're a little more self-explanatory. We run the infectious ones because we're trying to get more amplify in, trying to get more infection in. The aura is the only thing that separates an infectious zombie from a regular zombie now. They changed it. It used to be that infectious zombies, every time they did a claw swipe, did more infection damage than a regular zombie. They got rid of that. The only difference maker now is the aura. But the aura is very powerful on Alex when she's got viral canisters rolling and amplify. So these are a big deal. So you want to run these guys so that you can get that infection damage in from a distance. And I'm going to show you a little bit about how to play this build when it comes to door play. A lot of this is about doors and resisting the survivors in multiple directions. We have the other tough zombie in here just because he's a high HP zombie that can take a beating and do a lot of damage. We have the crawler in here because with recent HP buffs, he tends to require more than 5 seconds to deal with, and he only gives 5 seconds back, and he does a great job of covering up traps, so makes survivors more likely to run into them. We're running the mods because they make things cheaper. And they make it so you don't have to have other stuff in your deck. Frankly, I don't really know what else you'd want to put in this deck in terms of traps and creatures. This is kind of all you'd want. So by being able to run these mods, they make it so you don't have to draw cards that you don't really want to have in your hand. And they're always benefiting. Enhancer Energy Leech helps with bioenergy. I don't know you really need this card, because she's usually pretty good on bioenergy with the way we play this, but it's nice to get a little bit more in case things feel tight. For these traps, you might be wondering, why do we run these traps? Why don't you run high explosive landmine? Why don't you run landmine? The specific reason for that is because these ones explode. They might do damage, but they also flip your zombies around. A lot of what you're going to be doing with this build on Alex is resisting survivors on every single door possible. If you have explosive traps, you're going to blow your zombies up, and you're going to lose your advantage with your position. By running traps that only ever stun them and create crowd control, you're not losing your position. You don't run the risk of letting them get the position on you. And you'll see that when we play our game. Tracker Mine does a crowd control and it causes more damage. Leg hold trap is a pure crowd control. Lockdown traps cause crowd control because they get stunned for a little bit, and it causes them to spend more time on doors. Lockdown trap's great here. And with the way this deck is built, all of these traps are only going to cost 1, which is great for Alex's bioenergy. Now on to the final part about this deck. Something that's really going to help you understand this deck is we're going to take a look at the maps. We usually don't do that, but you're going to understand one of the biggest weaknesses of this build once we do that, and then it's going to help you also understand why we run this build the way that we do. Presets, in my opinion, are a really big deal for this deck. So if you take a look at my preset here, we are going to be running a preset that has a bunch of zombie infectious all over the map. Not tough zombie infectious. That feels like a waste to me. Zombie infectious, so you can resist them on multiple doors. Okay? And now let me go into cursor mode here so you can understand how this works. So the survivors start here, right? Now, in order to get the objectives, they need to run all the way over here to get both keys. But they also need to run backwards. So what you're going to be doing as they run out, you're going to resist them on this door. You're going to resist them on this door. You're going to resist them on this door. And once they get out of here, you're going to resist them back here. You're going to resist them probably back here. You're going to resist them right here. And then they got to go all the way back up. You're going to resist them right here, and then right here, and then right here, and then right here, and then right here. You're going to be creating so many opportunities to hold them up at doors, and then also increase your infection upon them. Something you can do with infection is you can open the door and close it, open the door and close it, open the door and close it. That forces them to run into those traps that you place, which gives you a crowd control opportunity. It also forces them into infection. Also, if you're opening the door and closing it and they're all kind of bunched up at the door, they're getting infection every time you open the door. And since Alex's aura is so potent, they'll get levels of infection and they never even come into the room if they don't play it right. Part of what makes this build work so well is that you actually do better if they group up together. Usually when the survivors are all working together, oh, that's a worst nightmare as a mastermind. But not with this. Because if they're grouped up together, that gives you a better opportunity to spread your infection more efficiently, which is awesome. And now let me try to give you a better understanding of how important that is to this build. Because in my opinion, downtown is the weakest map for this build. If you go ahead and take a look at downtown, and this might help you understand other masterminds as well. I want you to take a look at downtown to understand why it works the way it does and why you might seem to struggle on downtown. Let's take a look. So if you take a look at our cursor here, look at how downtown works. You start here and you run through and you end here. Why does that matter? It's because it's a straight shot. You run through, get your objectives, and then you're out. Whereas with Abandoned Park, and frankly every other map, you have to run back and forth. Even on Area 2 with this map, you kind of just run a straight shot. Take a look. You start here and then you end here. Almost every other map, you got to leave the spawn and then kind of backtrack at least a little bit. The best you're going to get for a backtrack on downtown is making them come back here because they got to go beat up Yorick over here. But it's even hard over here to make when you make them backtrack because they have a long corridor, and a long corridor is really good for survivors when they're taking down creatures because they can just run away and kite. Downtown is tough because it's a straight shot, and that's why people tend to struggle on downtown. And all these other maps, you force them to run back and forth and you can keep resisting them. We still managed to win. And I think it's because Alex is finally ready due to Molotov Valerie no longer existing and Yataveo getting buffed. Yataveo can finally be an asset and not a liability. And Yataveo wins you games now, which is awesome. Okay, let's see what we got here. We have an Alex on research facility. Okay. And yeah, the way I have my preset done up here is each of the 3 areas where they could run into, I have a creature blocking it off. I'm going to lay down another creature on that initial hallway just to resist them. And then it's going to be about trying to get in between wherever they're going, no matter what doorway it is. Okay? And we'll see how it goes. There's definitely ways to beat this. Pretty much anything crowd control will work as long as you're patient, but not a lot of people have the patience required to go ahead and beat this build. Ooh, rank 1. Fresh meat. That's where I'm going, baby. Hopefully she's like an actual rank 1 and not some smurf. Honestly, Valerie's really good against this too because she can debuff.
3 challenges. Not
I'm gonna see if I can get lucky with that lock right there.
But 3. It will always
this lock right
be
here.
3.
Because if they manage to run into this for me, oh boy. Yeah, that'll be huge for me if I can get that done. He's charging.
The bliss
Can't
of
let him
murder.
kick me.
The relief.
Yeah, he can walk into
The
it.
soaring ecstasy of shedding another's blood.
What are you doing, buddy? Come on, I'll poison them doing it this way. See how they get poisoned by that? Tyrone knows he can't get close to me because I'll slash at him. Come on, guys. There's the locks I was looking for. There's the kick.
It'll take more than that to stop me.
So now they're all a little poisoned up.
Oh, my birds. The cage has found you.
Giving up on this. Getting ready for this.
Aren't our eyes
I didn't really get a
made
chance to
be
set up over here because I was
torn
messing with them too much over on the other
hearts
side.
for the same
Oh wow, they already got rid of their
purpose?
poison. So they're like, hey, this is an Alex. We gotta back off. So I'm gonna try to just keep resisting them on every doorway that I can. So where are they going? Looks like I can get one over here. I'm not getting my creature mod yet. Kind of blows. Tyrone's coming.
The bliss of murder. The relief.
I'm just gonna
The
take that bite.
soaring ecstasy.
They're coming over this way. Get my creature. He's gonna get knocked over. I want to get more poison in on them if I can. Okay. So I'm gonna
surprised it took you that long to find.
place.
I made that one
See if I can get her to
easy
stick
for you.
around here. No, man, I got unlucky run there. They were quick in there and they're all together and I was on the wrong side of things. Okay, so the next thing that they can have in here. I'm a little tight on energy here. I gotta get away
I will hunt and destroy you.
before they bite me out. Gotta resist them on doors.
There's gotta be something useful here.
Come on, come on, come on. Oh man, they're working together. Okay, but Jill is kind of by herself here. So I'm gonna see if I can get a poison
This
in
is my
just
domain.
by putting this here.
I control where you can or can't
Oh,
go.
Tyrone's not
A
letting that
key to
happen, though.
open the path with
No,
this
Valerie's not
strength.
letting it happen.
Your
Okay.
fate is sealed.
Again, just trying to trickle time off of here. You and me, Valley. Where are you going? Take your time. Anybody coming to help her? Nope. No one's coming to help. She shot off my poison, which is fine. Oh, good zombie. I'm going to try to cut her off over here, but she's going to try to run. I want to get another bite. I'm going for another bite. And I'm probably not going to take her down here, but
This
I
could
am
be
just
the
kind
most
of
disappointing
trickling
test
time
yet.
off. See if I can get another...
Could be a variable in the efficacy of the virus. How do you feel?
Put that there.
Fear can blind you.
I'm trying to get a poisonous creature here, but I'm not getting one.
I want to see your
Ooh, they
fear
ran into it.
firsthand.
Okay, I'm gonna see if I can get some more poison in. See if I can get poison on Becca. I did. Okay, so
Now
now
that
she's
you're
gonna go
warmed
ahead and
up,
get rid
let's
of their
really
poison
test
in area 2 here. But you see how I'm just resisting them on every single door and how much time they lose because I'm not
The
feeding
next
them a ton of
area
time?
is ready for
Now
you.
she's gonna get rid of all the
Proceed.
poison. Now which direction are they gonna go? That's a big question for me. Because they have 2 options here, but I'm just gonna try to take what I can get. They already have a trap over there. gonna throw another creature right here, and then this right here, and then I'm just gonna kind of try to play it based off of what they might be doing. You know, getting ready on each camera to go ahead and jump. So I need to run into anything here. All right, so she's headed this way.
I will crush you.
Oh, she's by herself, so I'm just going there to get some swipes because she's thinking I'm just sitting on the other side of things. So I'm gonna get some free poison in there. I'm just gonna let that go. She's gonna shoot at my traps. Tyrone's headed this way, so... Ooh, free bites, maybe? Oh, yes, free bites, baby. Oh, they didn't let it happen. Okay, that's fine. I shouldn't have charged in then if that's gonna be the way this goes. I'm gonna put him here so she walks onto that trap. Covered up so they don't see it.
With my bare hands.
They're probably gonna get Yorick here soon. This is the level 1 Becca. I gotta go for her. Oh, I missed her. Okay, well, I'm gonna get on top of Yorick just in case I can resist this. Lock this door. Tyrone's gonna be in the way. Or he's gonna be coming, I should say. Oh, he already used his kick. Nice. See if I can get that bite in then. Get my other zombie ready here. If you control him, he's not gonna get pushed around. Okay, good. It's fine by me. Fat, yeah.
Will you even reach the final
good boy,
conflict,
Yorick.
or wilt here?
So if I'm lucky, they're not going to control him.
Take the key.
Ooh, got a bite.
Overcloud your vision.
Jill got the freaking key, though. This Yattaveo was a little greedy. I tried to end it early. Ooh, but these bites are good. Yeah, this is a really greedy Yattaveo. Oh, I got Becca with that? Yeah, I didn't have to go out do this Yattaveo. I should have been patient and used it on a tighter area. She might walk into this though. Okay, good. So she's gonna go complete a lot of these. That's fine. Tyrone's being kind of dumb. Okay, Tyrone's being super dumb. What's he doing?
I hope your friends have more interesting deaths than you.
Right, now they're backing off, which means... Usually what I would do with Yattaveo is I'd get them ready in this room, try to block them off on the objective here, but I got greedy. Because stealth, yeah, it's fun. Okay, I'm gonna put you here. Now Jill's gonna walk in. I'm gonna hit her with one of these blinding flashes. Boom, control.
You will not see your death coming.
She can't see me that well, so I'm gonna sit here and get poison in. She's gonna walk into traps. Oh my god, they're shooting out the traps? No way! You were blinded.
Get near me and
Should she not have been blinded for some reason?
Hope, an infinite amount.
Okay, I'm gonna get out of here. See if I can get them in on trap. So they're probably gonna get away here because they're getting a lot of time from somewhere. I think Becca's suddenly being really smart about traps. I don't know how he got away. They weren't in overtime. Why did that happen? They weren't in overtime. Why did that happen? Either way, I could have ended that if I would have been smarter with Yattaveo, but I was just having fun. But now I put myself in a really bad position because this is a really bad Area 3.
Unaware that the fire will
So
burn
I'm kind
them
of
to ash.
giving them a huge opportunity here. Where's the first thingy? It's up here. I'm going to get him up here, so when they bring this down, I can put it back up right away. I'm going to put Jester over here to try to scream, along with a tracker, and hopefully this Becca's not on top of her game here, because she's been pretty good suddenly, looking at all these traps on the ground. And I'm just going to keep him ready.
There's no escape
And try to get poison in. Okay, try to stay away a little bit. So that, oh my lord, it didn't hit. It didn't hit though. Oh no, it didn't hit Jill. Okay, so what's gonna happen here is I need to have something in their way. Yattaveo should win me the game. But I'm gonna get you ready to plop this back up right away in case somebody's being slow. And it's all gonna be about a poison game here now, so just do this immediately in case they're slow. Yeah. Shit. This is gonna be close. Oh, he's gonna try to kick. Oh, they hit me in the head right away. This is a good Valerie. She's playing really smart. These stuns are killing me though. Right, you see those coughs? That's where it's at, baby. Gonna hit this here with my creature.
Faster.
I'm gonna try to get a 15-second. Oh, come on, give me a 15-second bite. Give me a 15-second bite. You piss ant! All right, where's the next core gonna be?
Stop what you're doing.
These stun locks are brutal sometimes, man. Get a creature here.
Or be killed.
Get a leg hold trap here because I'm gonna run into that. Get him here. Then Yataveo should be able to win me the game.
Things, aren't you? Very well.
And I'm going to hit this
I
again
shall
with my
move this
creature right
along
here. That's why I
manually.
did that. And they're not going to be able to get here in time. Good. Oh, rockets, huh? Well, and that's the case. I'm going to... Can I put Yataveo here? What are they doing? Let's see where she tries to shoot her rockets at. Right there?
This is your final
right here, then.
chance. Witness our latest bioweapon.
There we go.
Pathetic.
So,
You struggled until
we gave
the
them
end.
area 2
But
basically
you
by
remain
playing a dumb yap.
captive. Shall we
But you
run
can see how it
another
just kind of
test?
trickles time off of them. And there's definitely ways to counter this build. Definitely ways to counter this build. How I would counter it. We always got to talk about counters after we do something here, right? Oh, we can open up a Cosmetic Chest while I talk about it. So ways to counter this build is crowd control, because you don't use a lot of creatures in this build, right? You use a couple of really strong ones. It's kind of like Daniel, except doesn't have no knockback. So anybody who's really clever with their crowd control can really rock you. Now, when you're playing as a creature, you can juke out Tyrone pretty well. What is Space Patrol? You can juke out Tyrone pretty well by like charging at Tyrone, then backing off. Usually a Tyrone's going to waste his kick. But where you're going to struggle is up against a Sam, who goes ahead and charges at you. Some Sams are so good at their distancing, where they're just far enough and they know just how far they got to be in order to hit the punch. Martin's going to be really good with his flashbangs. Valerie can be good with her flashbangs as well. Martin has his ult, which is what makes him really good. Frankly, anybody using a shotgun. Guys, I'm trying to tell you this in my streams, but shotguns are where it's at right now. People are like, oh no, they're so inconsistent. What are you on about, man? No, shotguns are where it's at. Get a Jill or a Martin. Somebody who doesn't have a bunch of other stuff going on in their build. Get like a Jill or a Martin to do this. Grab a shotgun. Maybe put a no knockback, or not no knockback, put a knockback equipment on with your shotgun, and you're just going to control everything. Martin's already so good at crowd control as it is. But you throw a freaking shotgun on one of those guys, and everything just gets frozen in place, especially with a build like this. That's going to work against a net. That's going to really work against this Alex build. It's going to work against creatures in general. It's all about crowd control, right? And again, this build suffers so bad on downtown because you don't get the back and forth. Without that back and forth, you're really in trouble. They can just do a straight shot and then you're not, you're really at their mercy. Let's see what Space Patrol. Oh, wow. Space Patrol looks so cool. I'm definitely putting that on my quick draws. So yeah, there's definitely ways you can counter it. Also, another really good way to counter it would be to run Valerie, because a big part of how this works is the aura that Alex has. She can just kind of like stink around you. Well, if a Valerie understands her role, she will go ahead and shoot a zombie in the head, debuff the poison off of them, and then the aura is not even a thing anymore. So a smart Valerie, who's, Remedy is also a really good way to go ahead and counter this, because you can get the poison off of your teammates. There's a lot of ways you can counter it, but most people don't, because they don't think to play it the right way. They're so used to bullying in, they're so used to rushing. This build excels against people that group up, and people that rush in, and people that are impatient. Now, rushing in and impatient are kind of two different things. When I think of patient, I think of a Tyrone that lets his Becca go ahead and shoot out the traps for him, rather than just beating on the traps himself. You never want to touch Alex's traps. I think of people that play their role. If you're a melee guy and you see poison, back off a little bit and let your people with the gun shoot him out. Be the frontliner that you need to be, but don't put yourself in unnecessary trouble. That makes sense? So you can beat this build, but you got to just be patient. And let me tell you, because of that, you're going to win a lot of matches, because people aren't patient sometimes, and you're going to use that to your advantage. And people don't really expect it sometimes when you're playing up against an Alex like that. So I hope this build is useful to you. We stream every single night on twitch.tv/SwingPoynt. If you guys have any questions, please let me know in the comments down below. If you guys would like to see anything else, please let me know. Link is in the description for the Twitch streams. I would love to see you there. And then I'll see you guys in the next video that we do around here.